Bam! We are Founder Jam 16. And just as Joe was saying, the camera was fine. now look at the camera. All right, perfect. Joe, you're going to have to, there we go. Now we're going to have to, I'm on location in Vermont. I'm actually in Vermont. So I don't know what's going on with the internet here in Vermont. But welcome to Founder Jam 16. How are we at Founder Jam 16 already? What's the deal?
I don't know. I was thinking that it had nothing to do with your location. I was just going to toss that damn camera out of there. If it's Vermont, California, Florida, wherever the heck you are, and we get that initial, blip going there. But no, Founder Jam 16. I mean, we made it because tremendous support. From everyone out there. We're passionate about this. We have a great time doing it. We've learned a bunch together. Every week is a new exciting week, and it's been great, man. I'm glad we had this idea.
Yeah, we've talked about this story before, but if you remember, Founder Jam, we were having a conversation on Monday afternoon maybe, and we said, hey, maybe Friday we should go live.
Yeah, I mean, everyone out there, and you get a lot of people hit you up, during the week and are like, oh, you guys should monetize this and grow it and everything. And so we're thinking about it. We're working on it. We're not thinking about it. We're working on it. But this started, we went live on 48 hours notice, I think, or even a little bit less. And here we are today. Yeah.
The first Founder Jam was decent. Now we're at 16. I feel like we're much better probably than we were before. But speaking of monetization, that's actually a big conversation. That kind of ties in a little bit to what we're talking about today here on Founder Jam 16. And we're talking about branding and creating a brand that your customers and also that the people that work for you understand. So, but big shout out to Joe for working hard on the topic today with the copy team. So nice job, brother.
Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, we got a lot of feedback from people. And I think what's interesting is today's topic around marketing and social media. We've done 16 of these. You and I are both in this space quite a bit, professionally, personally, and we haven't really had a pure Founder Jam session on just straight up marketing your business.
Yeah.
So it's about time, man. We're overdue.
This one's a good fit. This is a good fit. So if you're new to Founder Jam and you're checking us out, let's say you're on Periscope, Twitter, you're on LinkedIn, you could be on the YouTube channel, which is our primary source these days. If you're checking one of those out, the way Founder Jam works is we do 4 to 5 questions a week where we'll tweet them out in a Twitter chat format, but we'll beat them around here. And you're more than welcome to chat in your answers, make your comments, and you got to be on one of those platforms to make those comments. If you're watching Instagram Live on my Instagram Live feed, I know you just want to see my face, probably, I don't know why, but you can't participate in the discussion there. So you got to be on one of those main feeds. But we want to hear your answers, and we can put them up on screen using the technology that we have. So that's how we do it. And then at the very end, we have what we call our rapid fire segment. And this week, I'm the one who's in trouble because Joe's going to be firing rapid questions at me. That who knows where they came from, but we're going to get there. We'll get there. So stay tuned for that. All right, man. Are you ready for question number 1?
Question number 1, man. We're ready. We're getting hit up on Twitter. It's starting to pop. So let's do it.
All right. Here we go. Bam. Does your biz have a brand statement, and do the employees know it? That's a good one. That's a very, very, very good start. And this is kind of what you were talking about before. We're both kind of living this now with the business starting. So, Joe, maybe talk about the brand statement of Prono Marketing, because I feel like yours is pretty well polished.
Yeah. So this is something, it's honestly, it should be very straightforward. I first encountered one of these that was a little bit more robust than what we'll share in a second. But actually, when I was at Lexus, they actually gave you a card with the company's brand/mission statement on it that you could put in your wallet and carry it around with you all the time. And I know many other brands, have done that, and some have mirrored them in that fashion. But the brand statement is something that just provides absolute clarity on why everybody is there. What are we doing? What is the end goal? We've talked about that for 15 weeks, right? Getting everyone aligned. So there's just a statement, right? And so I think, let me pull up the chat here for you. So typically, the brand marketers will do this for a product line or a business or a brand that they're working on. And it's a statement that you kind of fill in the blank. So the template is for customers looking for X, brand A, that would be your company, is XYZ, provides services XYZ, and should be selected, right? A customer should work with you because of the following reasons. So customers looking for X, brand A does X, Y, and Z, we're better because of X, Y, and Z. And so that's the template. And to be honest, when we work with startup founders and even like our side projects, you and I, this is hard. Sometimes it's pretty hard for people because you can't be all things to everyone, and sometimes being too small isn't good. Niche is very big right now, but too small is limited, right? It's limiting.
Right.
So quickly for ours, Jono Marketing, right? So for companies wanting to improve customer acquisition costs and acquire more customers, Jono Marketing provides digital media and creative services using the most talented team in the industry with tremendous experience and track records at the world's top brands. It's a more formal 30-second kind of elevator pitch. This is now a 10-second pitch for businesses.
Strong though, because I see what you're saying. You tell what you're doing, who you're doing it for, why they should choose you, and then your credibility.
Exactly. That's exactly it, man. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And this applies whether you're a small business, a restaurant with one location, all the way up to, mega brands. And we work on this typically with brand marketers when they're launching a new product line, for instance. And so this isn't something typically, even with the best marketers, that comes up in 5 minutes. Sometimes it's something that takes 3, 4, 5 hours of meetings to really rein it in so that everyone is on this. Everyone has an opinion on this for sure. So yeah, man, that's how we do it in the marketing world.
Cool. I think for us it's a little bit different. I worked for one company for many years, and they changed the brand multiple times. So it's very hard to get some consistency there. The logos, the colors, I think all that's included. And so I think, believe it or not, the feel of all of those visual things really affects the words too, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
Right. And anyway, now at Initiate Impact, we provide the way we describe ourselves, and we don't so much add the credibility portion too often. I don't know if that's an industry thing, or maybe that's somewhere we need to be better. But what we say is at Initiate Impact, we provide modern financial management for purpose-driven families. And so we talk specifically about what we do, and then we talk about who we do it for, but we don't really dive into the credibility. So maybe I'm learning a lesson here today that maybe we need to say that more. Maybe we need to say we have 27 combined years of experience with our founders that have worked with purpose-driven families for over a decade to provide the best financial management so that they can live their healthiest and most fulfilled lives. Maybe something like that would be helpful, but we don't actually do that.
Well, it creates that point of differentiation, right? You and I talk about it all the time. There's so many people who do what you do. There's so many people who do what I do, right? So why should people partner with us? And really, it is a succinct, professional, approachable way to say, here's why you should partner. Here's why we believe you should partner with us.
Well, I think for us, the key is we want to do what this industry does in a very modern, technologically advanced way, because we think that makes things more efficient, it lowers cost, and it's really with our eye on the future, which is where you have to be. I mean, financial planning, it really is about looking forward, right? It's projecting.
That's right.
We need to be as modern as possible. And then our niche customer, if you will, is the purpose-driven family, a family that believes strongly about a specific cause or something that they want to leave a legacy to related to their family, and they want multiple generations to live that out. And so that's our niche people. And then, like I mentioned before, the credibility factor. I'm not actually one who's good at that. Like, I feel totally uncomfortable saying, "Oh, I have 5 designations and I've been studying. I'm a certified financial planner, a chartered advisor in philanthropy, and a kingdom advisor." Like, that's tough. Then I work with someone who's got a couple very serious
Right.
designations too. So it's one of those things where you kind of there's a way to do it in a professional way. I think is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, and prioritize, right? This is about making it easy to communicate your business. And when you have social media posts that need to go out or new print collateral that you're making for clients, it can all level up into this same statement, right? This kind of North Star to keep you guys on track.
Yep. All right, cool, man. That's a good one. Let's just go to number 2.
All right. Question number 2 is live.
All right.
Cool.
You clearly and consistently communicate your brand story. So this takes a little bit deeper than just the statement, huh?
Yeah, I think this is. Look, I'll be transparent here. I'll throw this out. We get this question sometimes, right? If you look at Joe No Marketing's presence in social media, I mean, how we work in this space, and we do a lot of it for clients, but admittedly, we don't do a ton of it for ourselves. So in this kind of public forum, I would say we're not as consistent as we would like in the communication of our brand proposition and our activities.
Yeah.
Now, conversely, though, I think with our clients and with prospects, it's a very different dynamic, right? Where we are like maybe we're super engaged there, obviously, and the communication and maintaining our brand promise to them. So I don't know, maybe that gives people some perspective, right, of the different ways that, when it comes to consistency, I would admit we're probably not as consistent as we should be. Overall, with certain channels, though, much more consistent than others.
Sure. I think story is so important. I heard someone say once that a story is the most powerful form of communication that we have, because it helps someone understand the reason why you do something. And I was in a Twitter conversation, actually, it's been going on for a couple of days now, it seems like, about how important why and how important your purpose is.
That's right.
And on my podcast, I had a couple of different people on over the months, really, that talked about identifying that why. And in a personal sense, that's a little bit different, but it's along the same lines and the same concept. When you start a brand and you start a company, there's got to be a reason why you did it. I mean, it's more than just the money. It's more than just someone said, okay, you'd be really good at starting a company.
Sure.
Purpose. You found a problem and you wanted to solve it. You found someone in need and you wanted to help them. You found an issue that other people couldn't solve and you felt you knew how to do it. There's a reason why.
Yeah, this helps. The story is the human connection.
Yes.
I think it's kind of what you're saying. It's like everyone says, like, you go to these big presentations and events and people get up and go through slides 1, 2, 3, and you remember little pieces. But the person who gets up there and says, let's tell you a story about this journey that we went on with X project, and everybody remembers it and is talking about it at dinner afterwards. Mm-hmm. It's just different. It's more human communication style.
I think for us at Initiate Impact, we knew from the beginning why we wanted to start the company. And I almost skipped over that. Recently, we've been a little bit more vocal about why we started the company. And I can already see people understanding a little bit more what it is that we do. They understand what we do more now that they know why we do it. And I think
that's interesting. Yeah, that's fascinating, man. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a tendency to describe all of our, just in any industry, really, what are the services that we do? What are all the things that we offer? What are the benefits that working with us will provide? And I think those are important, but I can give like on my website, I can have a laundry list of services that you get for one fee, one simple flat fee at our organization, which I think sets us apart in the industry already, but that's still not enough. They have to understand why we do all those things. And so when I tell them that I worked for over a decade with families and I felt stress because of the financials in a family, take a family down from a cohesiveness aspect to health wise. I felt those things really stressed them out, and they wanted to do things that they really cared about that helped them feel fulfilled and better. So that's why we started the company, because we know it really stresses people out, and it prevents them from doing the things that they really, really want to do. And so that's the main reason why. There's other small details that I'll save for the recording, but I think it's really important that people understand that. That way, because if they feel that same way, they know immediately that they're an awesome customer for you, because they have this either the same story or they fit the bill. They're the person that you describe in your story. If they're the I don't want to say the victim, but if they're the protagonist or there's someone in the story who they relate to, oh, it's a slam dunk. They're the perfect customer for you then. So it helps them a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's tremendous, man. That's really good feedback. And again, I think it comes down to that differentiation, right? And trust. I think we don't speak about that maybe too much, but both of our businesses, people are trusting us with their financial well-being, aka their life well-being or works well-being. And so understanding people's what drives them, their motives, and trusting that they're honest in that, I think is a really big deal. That's a great point that you made there.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, man. All right. We got 5 questions today. So
We're flying, man. Go for it, man. Question 3 is live.
3, here we go. All right. Does your business have a content plan? All right, now we're getting serious. Now you know that Joe is the one who developed this question, because your boy over here in Vermont is not a content expert. I'm just throwing stuff out there. So, all right, man. So does your business have a content plan? What does that even mean? What's
Yeah, I mean, look, so you kicked it off. When we work with small business owners, we try to help out local businesses a lot, and they come to us and they say, what the hell does that even mean? Where do we start? And I say to them, look, it's very similar to like your business plan, or for instance, like with restaurants, it's like your inventory plan, right? Like your grocery list of different things. So who are your customers, and then what is your business? What are you serving to those customers? And so all of a sudden it starts to manifest for people, and they say, okay, I get it. And obviously there's, social media technique, we call it, or, training, obviously how to post stuff. That's different. We deal with the business owners who say, why should I invest with this? What channels should I be on? And so this plan is a prioritization of, what are your business goals? What do people expect from you? If you're a restaurant, if you're a financial services company, if you're whatever business, what do people expect of you? How can you satisfy those demands? And so that's the marriage of all of those, right? Customers, your business, right? We really want to be customer driven. So customer focused, your business. What about your business are they interested in? To your earlier point with the laundry list, we get people who write us back an email that has 25 items. We're like, that's awesome, but your customers may only want, X, Y, and Z. I tell people a lot of times, I use like a pizzeria example. There's a million pizzerias out there. What can they get from it's local, right? And they're trying to build these local followings in surrounding neighborhoods, and it's super competitive, right? A pizzeria or restaurant is super competitive. And we say, look, you have the staff, the ambiance, the decor, and the food. And a lot of times what it comes down to is like food pics every day. Here's our amazing food pics, and then some stories, some videos about the ambiance, because that's what people want. They want a good meal, and they want to feel good when they go out. That's that business. It's that simple. So you can simplify, a restaurateur owns 10 restaurants, right? And that can be simplified into 2 types of content. And then, okay, what channels should we be on? Maybe not LinkedIn, or maybe LinkedIn, right? Maybe there's something contrarian. So it's really it's understanding, it's piecing all this together, but being as simple as possible, and not trying to be everywhere, not trying to be all things to all people, but being very simple and super focused with your efforts, because none of us have a lot of time to do this, right? And it's like anything else, it has to be done well. So when it comes to the planning, I think it's really important. First, we meet a lot of people who just don't even have a plan. Kudos for getting started, but a few hours upfront saves dozens of hours down the line.
Mm-hmm. So for a small business like mine, we have a plan where we have specific times during the week. We have a schedule, if you will. But how do you compete with these huge brands? I mean, you've worked for these organizations that have budgets in the billions, not billions, of dollars. How do you
almost? Yeah.
What do you
I mean,
do?
so that's great, right? I mean, we talk a lot about consistency, right? You never hear us talk about gaming the algorithm. It's how do you maximize the algorithms in social media? Yeah. It's not competing with them. It's these are the rules, just like in sport or in business, there are rules. How do we play within those rules and do as best we can? So being consistent with your content, having content that is clear, easy to understand, right? So notice I didn't say it has to be studio produced yet or just UGC content. We haven't gotten there yet, right? Because it's not just about the type of content. It's about how you use that content on the platform, right? So being consistent with your posting, having content that is clear, meaning if you're taking a photo or a video, it's easy to understand what it's about. It's not too busy. It's not too far away. It's not too close, but you get it. The person sees the visual. They understand what it's about. The language, the copy is very simple. And then I would say continuously improve over time and learn what people are adapting to. There are certain things that you want to share with the world that people don't really care about, right? We always say no one cares about your business as much as you do, right? So the people may not want to hear about other things. So give them what they want, right? And be consistent in doing that. And that's a way to compete. At the end of the day, everyone's competing against each other. That mega brand is still competing for that impression in a user's newsfeed against a smaller business. That's just the way it is. So if your content is good, it's clear, there's some sort of either education or entertainment element to it, right? Something that makes people want to engage. And maybe, let me stop there for a second. When we deal with brands, they have 5,000 images. But what we say to people is, what would someone want to click on? What is content that people want to share or share with their friends in their feed and say, this is really cool? There's a reason people share memes, right? They're funny, they're clever, they're different, they're creative. So that's how you win in this environment, is by giving people something they want to engage with rather than something that is just regular content that they scroll right past.
So what you're saying is it's got to be engaging. I mean, I've heard this discussion about followers versus engagement, right? So what you're saying is they need to be responding or clicking on it or participating in it somehow, not just scrolling through.
Yeah, and part of the way of getting better at that is being very consistent with the posts, right? We know the algorithm, and I know it sounds so boring, but we get brands that post every third day and say, how come nobody's liking my beautiful produced content? Because the algorithm doesn't care about your content. You're not providing a good experience for users. You're not contributing into the community. The more you contribute consistently into the community, the more you're rewarded if that content is at least average, right? Yeah. But it gives people something, give people a reason, ask them a question, right? I mean, we have a slide that has 16 different ways to engage with a social media post. So there's 16 different things, right? Milestones, polls, Q&As, yes or no's, either ors, contests and giveaways, did you knows, right? I mean, I don't know, that's like 11 right there. So, so there's a lot that people can do, but I really do stress to people it's like consistency and that simplicity. And if you can come up with a way to differentiate yourself, that's really key, right? I think that's ideal, and that might be like step 2 after you kind of get in the habit of posting the content and understanding what people want. Then try to like level it up a little bit. But yes, I mean, there's so much battle for attention. That's a phrase that we use at the big brands all the time. We're competing for attention. When you think of it that way, that changes what you want to post in a feed amidst all the different images that you have. Right? When you get that one, if you think of it as we have that one chance to engage that customer, okay, what are we going to post today? What's that one thing? Now all of a sudden it kind of changes in your mind. How do we prioritize this goal of getting engagement?
I've heard you talk about, I think something's related to this before, about you're not just competing against the other brands in your industry these days, you're competing against everyone because they're all on social trying to get attention.
Yeah, look, that's an amazing point. And wow, I'm really glad you brought that up. Very simply, we think of it, people think of it as the other restaurant down the block, right? Like, let's say I'm here in Fort Lauderdale. All these businesses around here of all kinds are big on social, right? You name it, whatever business it is. So they think in terms of the other hotel nearby, the other restaurant nearby, the other boat services company down the block. But in reality, it's competing against all advertisers. So you're competing against your Nikes, your Pepsis, your Walmarts, your apparel brands, right? Your travel brands, your leisure brands, government brands. All of them are in the user's newsfeed. And so how do you stand out in that environment when they have so much different content coming at them? But you're competing against all of them for that impression. And then that engagement, that question to you about your business. What time are you open? Are you open on the weekends, right? It's kind of moving into that sweet spot, what every small business wants. All of those businesses are competing. It's not just the other person in your industry. Again, that I think enables people to level up their performance a little bit or raise the minimum bar, right? Before it's down here, but when they understand this concept of so much competition, now the floor has been elevated.
Yeah, gotcha. I think like you said, there's so many big brands out there that it can get intimidating to try to compete with them, but you got to figure out a way to live in that realm and find out. I think you can use what they're doing as a kind of a guide or a teaching system to help you learn what people are actually looking for.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. Dude, you're amazing. I should hire you, man. We're going to bring you on board to sell this for us. We call it mirroring to win, right? So a lot of times we get in with founders and they do this with their business, right? They look at the business and say, this company is doing it this way. Maybe we could do it a little bit different in the same product space, right? It's the same thing when it comes to marketing, right? Mirroring to win, right? We tell people, Starbucks opened up where all the Dunkin' Donuts were, and Burger King opened up where all the McDonald's were, right? There's a reason they do these types of things because what other brands are doing is working. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. I just wrote a blog. My blog from yesterday, I write a blog every Tuesday. It was about zigging when everyone else is zigging. And not that.
Yeah. That's right. That's a great point.
I'm on fire.
That's good.
All right, man. Let's get number 4.
Yeah. Maybe we do number 4, and then we could get into rapid fire. We're crushing it here.
Yeah, let's do
some of these. Cool. Number 4, which we talked about a little bit, and I think we have some recommendations here for people. Awesome. Number 4 is out.
All right. Is creating a content a struggle? Are specific team members dedicated to the content? So yes, this is a tough one, and I'll start off on this one right away.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a struggle. I love the creative aspect of the content, and right now we have a small team. But I know that if I want to grow how we want to grow, I'm going to need dedicated team members to the content more than just myself. So I feel like I'm not quite there yet, but it's going to be shortly. I think that's kind of where we're at because we're growing. It's exciting. It's fun, but eventually it can be kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we kind of touched on this before. I think when you're starting out, dedicating time is the first priority. And then as you grow to your point, then it becomes dedicating personnel, right? Or other resources of some kind. Contractors, independent contractors, influencers to help you ramp up your your business. That way you kind of help mitigate costs. And we talk a lot about using social media as customer retention, depending on the business. It is hard to acquire customers directly attributed through your social media. We know people shop social media, especially the beauty industry, the fashion industry. They look at a profile and they shop there. Absolutely, 100%. For businesses like ours, more B2B, right? It's very hard to say someone looked at a social post and then signed up with us.
Yeah.
I wish it happened that way, where you'd see a lot more social posts from general marketing. But it doesn't work that way. But social media is phenomenal for reputation management and engaging existing customers, regardless of any business. So we try to educate people, think of it that way, invest there, and manage your expectations for what you'll get out of this marketing activity.
Sweet, man. I think we have multiple ways and tools and things that you can use to help you with content these days, that even shopping for the right tools and systems can be a little overwhelming, but safe to say that it's important to have this stuff right out there. Your brand, like going back to question number one, a brand, an idea, a thought, a concept, a story can all be told in that content, right? And your content, what I'm learning is that your content doesn't have to directly be about what it is that you do say specifically, right? Kind of like you said, sometimes there can be content just around reaching a milestone, or just around a poll, or just around a story related to what happened in the business or why you started the business, going back to that question. It doesn't always have, your content doesn't always have to be, this is my product and this is how it will help you. To be honest with you, that's kind of boring over and over again.
That's right. Yeah, that's right, man. You get it. That's a great observation. That's another question we get all the time is, what should our content be? And that's where I say, look at your competitors, to your point earlier. What are they posting, right? What are the people who are trying to do the exact same thing as you, who've been doing it for a little longer? What are they doing? Simply open your feed. I spoke with, there's an interesting one. I spoke with an enterprise marketing tech rep, and we were talking about how he finds new leads, right? Like cold leads that aren't in their pipeline. And he says, we get a lead that comes in, we go to their Instagram profile and we click the button for similar profiles, and we get 30 similar businesses that we now can evaluate and reach out to as potential targets. Totally free, right? Everyone, he said his team will spend 30 minutes building out flows of potential targets. Then they get in the room and they literally just go sit on their phones and start hunting through recommended similar profiles on Instagram. So it can be something that simple to help you find inspiration for the type of content that you're building. Wow,
that's interesting, man. So you can get someone out there just kind of scrolling along just looking for inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, this gentleman's using this for $100,000 to $500,000 a year contracts. Right. But just think about it. If you're a business and your competitors there, what other businesses, if you're in South Carolina, maybe there's a business in Oklahoma that's doing something super cool. Well, how are you going to find them? Right. Simply go on your phone, click the similar profiles from the profile page on Instagram. All of a sudden, there's 20 or 30 options for you to explore. And then you can just keep exploring one at a time.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Cool. I'd love to have someone out there just maybe you can get a part-time on like Fiverr, Upwork, or help you out or something.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, dude. That is this. Man, all right. So are you good to go for rapid fire?
I'm good to go, man. I'm good to go. This was rapidly created and it might be our best one yet.
All right. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time for rapid fire. Joe's going to fire the questions at me. If you're on any one of the feeds, by all means, throw in your comments on the YouTube or LinkedIn or Periscope feed and make fun of me, because I'm sure I'm only going to get 1 out of 5 right.
I have about 8 questions, man. I'm giving you a couple bonus questions here. Let's jump in. Okay.
All right.
Ready? Here we go. Okay, here we go. What percentage of business owners work nights, and what percentage of business owners work weekends?
Nights, 70%.
No.
Not even
You're
close.
off. 81% work nights. 81%. You're close, but not close enough. Since I'm so far behind, I'm not giving you that one.
Okay. Weekends, 85%.
All right, I'll give you that one then. Fine. 89% is the correct answer. 89%.
89% of business owners. Well, so the other 11%, are they crazy or are they smarter than all of us?
They're either slacking or they're crushing it. So
they got someone else doing it for them.
That's right. Okay, next question here, jumping into small business. Out of 31.7 million small businesses, how many are micro businesses with only 1 to 9 employees?
Give me the statistic again.
32 million small businesses.
Yep.
How many of those are micro businesses with 1 to 9 employees?
25 million.
No, false. 3.7.
What? Only 3.7 or 1 to 9
1
employees?
to 9? Yeah. Wild, right?
We got a long way to go.
Yeah. We're in the minority, that's for sure. Okay, and so building on that one, how many million Americans work full-time for their own business?
Million Americans work full-time for their own business.
So not part-time entrepreneurs, right? Just full-time on their own business.
Man, this is a hard one.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get this one, but I'm kind of stacking the deck here with some of these hard questions.
Yeah, I don't know. 10 million.
Okay. I'll give you, that was fine. I'll give you that one. 15 million. 15 million Americans.
15 million. Oh. Check out our new graphic, by the way.
I dig it, man. You've been working on that all week, so there's our efficiency, 100%.
You know how hard that little siren thing was?
Yeah, anyone out there who needs graphic design services, just call.
Right here.
Just call Bob. Okay, next one. A little bit different here. How many, so it's in the millions, how many entrepreneurs are there in the world?
In the world?
Yeah. I don't even know how, this is interesting. I don't know how they calculated this number, but there's a number.
150 million.
No, you don't. And can we insert the buzzer noise? No, it is 582 million
people,
entrepreneurs in the world. Yeah.
Wow. So does that count a little 8-year-old who's making lemonade or something?
I don't know. You'll have to contact the website and ask them for.
That's interesting. All right, well, whatever.
Okay, so let's see. What percentage of small enterprises, right, small businesses, have debt of $100,000 or more?
23.
No, 40%.
40%.
That's a lot, right? Doesn't it feel like a lot? That's a lot. 40%.
They're taking some big loans. Thankfully we don't have that. Gosh.
Yeah. And then let's see. I got about 2 more questions for you here. Trying to give you some chances to get back in it. In the finance world, right? So I found some in your space here.
Yeah.
At the end of 2020, 9 million loans were given to small, medium SMBs, small, medium-sized businesses. So 9 million loans were given out. What was the total amount of all of those loans?
9 million total loans. Well, I'd have to say the average was probably less than $1 million.
Yep, that's true. The average is less than $1 million. The average, but the total might not be the total. This is a tough one.
5 million. $
$750 billion. It's a lot,
so
guys.
the average was more than. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Well, look, you and I encounter it all the time, right? How do people finance their business? We've talked about it for our side projects, and here it is. So at the end of 2020, there had been 750 billion in loans given out. Now, maybe COVID had something to do with that. That might be an anomaly year. That's a lot of money out there. It's a lot of opportunity. And then speaking of Instagram, and that just happened organically, what percentage of people discover new products via Instagram? So if you're a company out there, right, and you're saying, we want to market our business, we have products, how do people discover us? I think this stat's going to blow some minds. What percentage of people, all ages, discover new products on Instagram?
Well, not everyone in the world's using Instagram. I think less than half of the world is on Instagram, I believe.
I think they have like 1 billion users, so that's true. Yeah.
Okay. Because there's what, 6 billion in the world, maybe?
Yeah. So far, everything you're saying is accurate.
So that's, what is that? 13, 20, it's less than 20% of people in the world are actually using it. I don't know, maybe 15%.
60% of people discover new products via Instagram.
That doesn't make any sense. How can only 20%?
Well, I think it's people have to have internet connections and things like that. I mean, we're kind of getting out there a little bit with your analysis here of the population of Earth.
Does it mean that 60% of the people on Instagram, or
the statistic cited here is 60% of people discover new products on Instagram. Let's see. I can do it.
Me, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, we'll try and find it here. I'll try and find the stat. Let's see, where is it? I don't know. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, small business and social media statistics. 60% of people discover new products on Instagram.
All right. Well, whatever. So those
what do you want me to tell you?
Instagram right now, if you can even hear that, because you may not feed, apparently 60% of you find new products on Instagram. So congratulations for shopping on your scroll. All right. Well, man, I stink at that as usual. Rapid fire is over. Thank God. Maybe we should start calling that segment the hot seat, because I'm sweating over here.
Yeah, you feel the pressure, right? Questions 1 and 2, not so much, but by question 3, it's heated up.
It's 70 degrees out here Fahrenheit, and I'm sweating my butt off because of rapid fire segments. So anyway, I got to go put this hotel room back into one piece. I totally
go for it, man.
Pull out.
Go for it. Looks like the studio. Yeah, man, looks good.
Take off lampshades and stuff. Anyway. Whatever, man. Been a pleasure. Founder Jam 16 in the books. We are rolling. Next week we will be back for Founder Jam 17, lucky 17, my college number, and we are rolling, man. Anything you got to throw in there?
No, that sounds good. We appreciate all the support. Keep the engagement going, and obviously send us some recommendations on topics. That's where we get a lot of the content is all the questions you guys ask us. And as always, we always let you guys know we get tons of text messages, phone calls, DMs once everybody watches. I think people are just shy, man. I think people consume a lot. Yeah. And the engaging is a little bit different. I think that takes one more extra step. Yeah. So don't be shy. Shoot us a DM.
Listen, if we're out here and we put together Founder Jam 1 in 48 hours, then you can
that's right. So that's right.
Cool, man.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot, man. Hey, thanks for making this happen today when you're on the road. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, it's a blast. I saw a tweet out there earlier today about what would you do if you could travel or you weren't bound by space and you were still a business owner, or where would you live? And my response was nowhere specifically. I mean, it's amazing. I could be somewhere on the other side of the world. We could be doing Founder Jam. So it's cool, dude.
Yeah, well, we'll let everyone guess where you'll be next week. So there we go.
Yeah, probably back in the lab. But all right, man. Everyone, peace out. See you at Founder Jam next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Wednesdays. See ya.
Later.